Now, you know that phrase, don't you? She loves you, yeah, 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 you do. Of course, A Hard Day's Night, all those brilliant songs from the 1960s, created by none other than four guys from Liverpool who literally changed the world. Of course, many people think there was a fifth Beatle with Brian Epstein, and I would say that there was. He was a genius manager who really sort of came up with a format of what pop stars should be like. He created the Beatles. And here behind me in Montague Square, in the very heart of London, is the former home of, some say, the most, well, favourite Beatle, at least for a period, John Lennon. Now, John lived here in 1968 alongside his wife, Yoko Ono. Now, I met Yoko Ono quite a few years ago, I must tell you. We were invited to this art installation. Very strange thing. She sat on the stage and we were asked to come along and cut bits of fabric off her. I don't really know what it was about, but it was pretty nutty, as you can imagine. Now, the Beatles, of course, left a wonderful legacy for so many people, and John and Yoko were seen here quite regularly. At this point in their lives, it was a lot easier for them to, keep it lower. The Beatles were still mega, of course, and it would be another year before they split up for good after doing that infamous Apple Office Records performance on Top of the Road. What I liked about this particular situation, and when you think about it literally here, if you are a Beatles fan, it's one of those places that you really want to come and have a look, because you get a feel of the fact at this point that John Lennon not only was super successful, but he'd really reached the pinnacle of high living. Montague Square is not for the poor. And of course it was quite secluded, but very close to the West End at that particular point. In his sort of references and letters and things like that, apparently this was a very happy period for John. He had a lot of success behind him, still more success to come. But more importantly, for those people that love the Beatles, and people come to London and Liverpool and so many other areas of the United Kingdom and around the world, sourcing out exactly their favourite band, it is definitely a hot spot. One other place I might point out to you though that really made me smile was this place, Fleetwood in Lancashire. That's right, they had a plaque up there which I think still remains at their now lovely and beautiful Marine Hall. And the Beatles played there just on the cusp of their worldwide success. But here in London, of course, is where a lot of success came to the Beatles. They had their own offices down the road in Soho, and of course all the other Beatles lived in and around. I've been lucky enough to meet Sir Paul McCartney, and he says many a time that he looks back at old pictures and it's like looking at a third person. He can't believe what they achieved in such little time. There's no doubt about it that although we lost John Lennon at such a young and early age, and when you think about it, John Lennon left behind a wonderful plethora of beautiful music, and much of it was still written here in Montague Square. Definitely a visit for all Beatles fans next time you come to London. Neil Sean, Montague Square, in the very heart of London.